Hello and welcome back to the Ain't Dead Yet podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by our official sponsor, Sun Life Organics. Love, heal, and inspire. Sun Life Organics is a juice bar that has locations all across the United States, providing only the highest quality organic ingredients. I love it. Personally, I go just about every day. My favorite smoothie is the Holy Cow. It's packed with 50 grams of protein, and it always helps me recover. Go find one near you. Another official sponsor of today's podcast is Noble Origins. Noble is a grass-fed beef protein complex, utilizing everything in the cow from nose to tail. It's personally my favorite protein. I like the vanilla the best. I like to mix it with raw milk. That is my favorite combination, but the chocolate is also amazing. I also had mentioned with additional sponsor, Sun Life Organics, that they have a shake smoothie called the Holy Cow. They also utilize Noble protein in order to hit that 50 grams in that shake. So again, go order it. Check them out, nobleorigins.com. Use code ADY for 15% off. Love y'all. Hello and welcome back to the Ain't Dead Yet podcast. We're pumped today. Very special guest. We've been working at this one for a while, trying to get our timing together. Mm-hmm. Both of us got some pretty wild schedules, and I think the audience will understand a little bit more about wild schedules as we dig into this. But today's guest, Mitch Ammons, anyone around the Austin area especially is well aware of who you are, and in the running community.
The runners probably know.
Yeah. And then the recovery community.
The recovery, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
you're tapped into multiple communities, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm pumped to have you here today and have this conversation. I believe timing is everything. Mm-hmm. We probably weren't supposed to sit down 6 months ago or whatever it was.
I agree.
Because everything since then, it's just been more and more building. Mm-hmm. So more to chat about, and I think more, honestly, opportunities for service if we're being real about it. Mm-hmm. Like more opportunities to tell people how far you can really push it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, man, I'm just pumped to have you here. And
I'm glad to be here, man.
Ready to rip it.
I'm excited.
Yeah, man. So just to get the audience familiar with you that doesn't know you very well. Born and raised, like where?
Yeah, Dallas, born and raised Dallas, Texas. I kind of talk about it. I was just telling my mom yesterday, I met up with a friend, my best friend growing up, his little sister, who I've known since she was born. But anyway, we were talking about the old times and like, man, I had a great childhood, like perfect, picture perfect childhood. My parents, perfect. The families that lived in the neighborhood, the kids, it was just perfect. Yeah. But Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, so Texas born and raised.
I'm like fourth generation. I think I go back to when Texas wasn't part of the U.S. It was Tejano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're
Texas, baby.
Through and through. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm hoping to start that trend.
Yeah, let's go.
So I'm an implant, but
it's okay.
Or an import.
We want you here.
Yeah, I like it here.
Yeah.
So born and raised, Dallas, Texas. Athletic career start real young. Were you involved in sports?
I was involved with sports young. I mean, in middle school, I played all sports. I did have, my mom and dad were marathoners as a kid, and I grew up watching them at the Dallas, it used to be called the White Rock Marathon back then. But then I never went, but my mom would go to Chicago and Boston. And so I always had it like, I kind of want to run marathons, like as a kid. Going into middle school, I think fifth grade, they start track. So we started track in fifth grade. I was pretty mediocre. Sixth grade, mediocre. By sixth grade, I was getting better. By seventh grade, I never lost a race again. And then eighth grade, I broke 5 in the mile, which was a big deal back then for an eighth grader. And then went into high school. I played football and ran track. And I never really got any better because I just was focused on other things.
Yeah.
So my best year was my freshman year of high school, and then I never got much worse, but I just kind of stayed the same.
Is that about the time where the partying picked up or started?
Yeah, big time. Okay. Yeah. I would say 7th grade.
Yeah.
7th grade is when I found an interest in drinking and smoking cigarettes.
Okay.
8th grade, same thing at the football games. We used to go to the high school football games, Jesuit football. And yeah, I started drinking then and stealing liquor from my parents, and my best friend still to this day would steal cigarettes from his mom, and we would go smoking behind the bathroom at the football game.
It's actually wild to think about when it comes to gaining access at that age. Right?
My wife and I were literally talking yesterday. She's like, she just grew up in Arlington. She's like, I don't think our friends were as crazy as y'all were, because I I had met up with that friend from growing up, but yeah, I think, what was the story we were talking about? I don't know, but yeah, I mean, we got into some wild stuff in Dallas. I don't know if it was normal or not, but yeah, it was
normal for me
at a young age. Yeah,
in Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know if location really determines it. I think it's like what drives it.
Yeah.
And then also like who you're connected with.
Yeah, that was a big one. And I sought out the people that were bad news.
I did too, and some of them still today are my buddies. Like,
yeah, me too.
Love them to death. You know what I mean? And that's just, we were all on that same.
That's
in groove.
My best friend today, his name's Trevor.
Yeah.
We've been best friends since the 5th grade. Once we started like doing joint football games with all the middle schools, we go to the high school football games. But yeah, he was the absolute worst influence on me ever. Mm-hmm. But he's been my best friend since. Yeah. Every drug I tried, for the first time I tried with him. Yeah. Except meth and heroin, I tried those on my own.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had fun for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just funny how you get into it, but it's also crazy to think about, like, at that age to gain access, like, you have to work for it.
Yeah.
It takes effort.
I had to work for it for sure.
You know?
I mean, not that hard though.
Yeah. When you look back, really not that hard in comparison to what we work for today.
In middle school, so I had another best friend. There was like 4 of us. It was Tyler, Trevor, Brandon, and me. And there was another guy, John. We were best friends from middle school. And Brandon had an older brother. He was 4 years older than us. And he had this guy. We called him the beer man. And when we were in 7th grade, we could call him at 2 a.m. He was a mailman during the day, but at night he would like stock up on liquor and beer and Camel Twist, little shitty cigarettes. They were disgusting, but we'd call him at 2-3 a.m. and he'd bring them by. He'd charge us like $50 for a handle of McCormick's vodka, and we were fucking thrilled.
Yeah, living the dream at that
young.
age.
Yeah, real young.
Yeah, it's we had a beer man too, but he rode the bus with me.
No
he was on the bus.
That's great.
And so like Thursdays, usually Wednesdays or Thursdays, he'd collect.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And then he would drop off and deliver.
Yeah, that's what our guy did.
And I remember the one time he got caught. So my mom has worked her ass off her whole life. Mm-hmm. And she's like clockwork. You know where she's going to be?
Yeah.
She turns, so this year she'll be 68 in June. So like Monday.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mom. And but she's always worked her ass off, and then she works out like 2-3 hours a night. Every night. Mm-hmm. So like I knew like, okay, she's not going to be home from X to Y.
Right.
So I'd tell him like, hey, these are the hours. I had a toolbox on this old truck.
Just throw it in there.
Throw in the toolbox.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
get it. And she was home one time. I came home from work early, which made no sense. Like, it was completely out of the norm. And she didn't catch them. Like, she didn't do anything to them. But I'll never forget, after a JV football game, I came home and like just wanted to like look in the toolbox, made sure I was good for the weekend. And I looked in there and I didn't see shit. It was dark. And I was like, damn. I was like, I guess he forgot. And so Friday morning I got on the bus. He's like, no, I put it in there.
Oh,
I was like, shit, dude. So I got back home and looked in the daylight, and there was a note in the bottom of my toolbox. And it
I
said,
got a note for the first time I got caught, too. I got a fucking note.
Dude, it said, please see me when
That's
you find this.
what my note said.
Like, oh, no.
My mom found a bag of weed, and she left me a fucking note.
Yeah, that's what hit me, too. And I was like, I didn't come out of my room, dude. I was like, I don't want to have this.
I was terrified. Yeah. How funny.
Yeah.
We both got notes.
Yeah.
That was the first time I got busted.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. My mom found it and left me a note.
Oh, that's so funny.
Shit. How gangster is that, though?
Yeah, I know.
Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, me too.
You know, it was worse than getting yelled at.
It's probably more common than we think.
Yeah, probably.
That's so funny.
So, yeah, we had a beer man, too. And it was the same thing. It was like multiple people would try multiple routes, but we always ended up, covered in some way.
Yeah.
And I think that what's interesting about it is, like, as you get older, that access becomes easier, and you're also around maybe an older age group that has access to other things. So it's like, it's that wheelhouse, right?
Sure.
And you just develop in it.
Yeah. And this is a hot take, but a lot of people say that weed is not a gateway drug. And weed itself, I don't believe, is a gateway drug at all. But the drug dealer that sells weed, he also sells coke, he also sells pills, he also sells whatever.
Yep.
And so that was a big one. Like, I smoked weed from a young age, and it was the drug dealer that first convinced my friend Trevor. I think he helped him move or something. Trevor and my friend Tyler helped them move. He's like, here, take a bag of Coke and, you know, tell me what you think. And he tried it, and I was so mad. Like, he didn't tell me till the next day, and he's like, bro, it's not so bad. Just try it. And I was like so mad at him. I was like, we said we never do this. And I tried it. I was like, that's it? And then like 5 minutes later, I was like, I kind of like it. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Got another one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
And bro, we were off to the races. And this was like this is sophomore year of high school.
It's crazy how
we
quick
had
it
just started
takes.
driving, yeah. Once we started driving, it was game over.
For me, I don't think I don't think I would ever try to drug without alcohol.
Oh no, me neither.
Like I think for me it was the ultimate gateway.
Yeah, alcohol.
Like, yeah.
Still for me. Every time I started trying to get sober at 19 years old. I went to rehab the first time. I wouldn't say I actually tried. I was like forced to go.
Yeah.
But I kind of tried because I knew I was bad off. I knew I had to stop using opiates because those are the ones that you can like just not wake up from. But I fuck, where was I going with that? What was I just saying?
We were talking about like gateway.
Oh yeah. And so I guess it was Trevor. So I completely just lost my train of thought.
No, you're good. So at 19 you go to rehab though, first time.
19. Oh, we're talking about alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay. Went to rehab. Each time I'd get out of rehab, every single time it was alcohol. I would relapse on alcohol because I felt like I was missing out because I was young. I was, 19 to 22, 23, 24. And I felt like I was missing out. And I was like so stubborn about it. Like, I'll quit everything else, but I won't quit alcohol. And whether it was the first night that I drank or the third or a week later, it only took that one time to get a little too drunk, and I'm out at the drug dealer's house picking up Coke.
Yep.
When I use Coke, I hate the come downs, so I pick up Xanax too. And that was my big combo all through high school was Xanax and Coke.
Mm-hmm.
And I could drink as much as I wanted, and I could do as much Coke as I wanted, and I would have no side effects, no shitty come down. I could go to sleep. My routine was take pills and snort lines all evening. And then at night, like at 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m. or a.m. when I was ready to go to bed, I'd like pop 4 of them, and I would pour up a tall tumbler, like not probably 40 ounces, but like a 30-ounce tumbler of orange juice and vodka. And I would drink that, and I would pass out 20 minutes later. Yeah. And I had the perfect like recipe for like a great night, because any one of those drugs alone can have some shitty side effects, right? Like Xanax alone, you're probably just going to go to sleep. Coke alone, you're going to be fucking wired off your ass and never sleep and be miserable when you're trying to sleep. And then alcohol, I mean, alcohol's great, but the combo was like, it was gold to me. That was my favorite thing for a long time.
So I never cracked into Xanax.
Oh man, it's a bad one. Every time I've been to jail, I've totaled probably 8 cars. I've been to jail 10 times. I've been to jail. And every single time was on Xanax. Yeah. I was so reckless. I had no care or regard for anyone around me. I just was like, party. Yeah. And that's all I cared about.
I've heard a lot of wild shit about Xanax.
Yeah, it's wild. You wake up the next day and you're like, what the fuck did I do last night? I have no idea.
I don't know how I navigated that.
Well, it's a bad one, man. I think that's the most underrated bad drug that there is. It's so easy to get. Yeah. Any doctor will give it to you. I used to I had all sorts of ways, man. I even got down to stealing my dad's prescription notes, and I tried to go write a prescription with his prescription pad, and they called him, and I got caught. They're like, why is this guy writing a prescription for this? And I got caught. So I realized if I got the template from his prescription pad, and I hope the police aren't listening. Yeah,
I think you're good now.
But it was a long time ago. But I got the template. I pulled up a Word document, and I just Googled prescription like RX symbol. I put it at the fucking top. On the Word document, I filled out all the doctor's information. I filled out the DEA number and the other number unique to the doctor. And then I typed up the prescription, and I faked a signature. Dude, I did that for like a solid couple years. And I would go to a 24-hour pharmacy after 5 p.m. so they could not call the doctor. And and they would fill it every time. Damn. Every single, in Xanax. Yeah, every single time.
That's crazy.
I'd go get 90 of the 2 milligram pills, which are the biggest ones. And then 2 days later, I'd go to another pharmacy and get 90 more. Damn. It was fucking wild.
Yeah. It's kind of, when I think about it, I always wonder when you play the tape back, I always wonder like what would have happened if I would have cracked into that world.
Oof.
Right? Because like my thing was always drinking and Coke
Mm-hmm.
with some meth sprinkled in.
Yeah,
right?
well, I can promise you it'd have probably been a great time, but you probably would have gotten in a lot more trouble.
It'd have been a lot worse.
You've got the personality, like the big party, and it
Yeah.
just like accentuates that.
Yeah.
So like anyone with a big personality, when you start taking Xanax, it like blows it out of proportion, and you're just like
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
No, it would have not been good.
Because for me it was always like, if I had one, I needed the other.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't want to do one without the other.
No, never. I had my
Yeah.
my combos.
Yeah,
I never did them alone.
No, that's what's crazy to tell people too, and it's actually a lot of people that are like that.
Yeah, I know.
You
I
know what I
mean, they got a name for it. It's called a speedball.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
it's literally like it's a slight variation Xanax, and it's an upper and a downer.
right.
Obviously, it gets into like literally a speedball is shooting up a shot of meth and heroin is what a speedball is, but like it's the upper and downer, and it's a pretty good combo if you're into that thing.
Well, it's wild. It's like anything in life, right? It's the contrast.
Yeah, the contrast. Yeah, it evens you out, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And then you think about it, and you're like,
In
well,
an
damn.
extreme.
Yeah. I'm already even. Why am I? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just a different thought process. So how long was your run? Did you go till
I got sober at 26.
26?
Yeah,
That's awesome. How old are you now?
almost 36. It's almost been a decade.
Damn.
Feels like yesterday though. Like the stories, and I got a lot of wild stories. Like I got myself into a lot of really wild situations with like shot callers of like Bloods, and
Yeah.
like I used to hang out at this crack house in South Oak Cliff. I had this friend. He was a drug addict. He was like 55 years old. This ex gangster. His name was Hammer. But I would call him up, and I'd pick him up in his little studio apartment in like the ghetto, and we'd go over to these real OG like retired shot callers, like real gangsters. Like I'm this like white kid from North Dallas, and I'm rolling with these gangsters. But you know, it's kind of funny because it's like now like running, I am hanging out with people that have no similar backgrounds, but we have this one commonality, and it was kind of the same thing. Like I'm this kid from North Dallas, the suburbs, like raised really well, and I'm hanging out with these gangsters. But we have something in common, is that we like to get fucked up.
Yep.
And that commonality like made us friends. But it was pretty wild. I've been in some like shootouts and some, I mean, like witnessing
Yeah.
I'm not a part of it, but like just being with the wrong people at the wrong time. I have been in some pretty sketchy situations and been perfectly okay with it.
Yeah, it's wild to think too. So like for running or fitness or sobriety or business, there's community, right?
Bro, I was thinking that in my head right now.
But-
Community is all we need.
Yeah,
Regardless, that's all I was ever looking for.
right.
Was community, and I found it in the drug using
100%.
space. Like these people, whether they love me for me or because I used drugs with them, it didn't matter to me, but they loved me. They wanted me around.
Yep.
Most likely because I'd spend money and buy drugs for everyone because I had parents that would give me money. But regardless, like they were nice to me, all because of this common thing.
Yeah, there was like probably a handful of guys in my run that I still love to this day,
Yeah.
right? But our only connection was drug use. That's it.
This guy,
Like polar opposite humans.
I had this drug dealer for a long, long time in Dallas. Like I swear, I called him on and off for like probably 7 years. He went by Prophet.
Okay.
He was a real nice guy. He was a career drug dealer. We're friends on Facebook, right? Like from 20 years ago or whatever. He sent me a message. It was at least a year. It was within a year. He sent me a message on Facebook. Bro, I'm so proud of you. Like, you're doing so great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. I'm like, even the drug dealer's messaging me. It was
Yeah.
so funny to me.
Dude, that happened to me too.
Yeah.
Back to hometown guy.
Yeah. This
Like-
guy's like a true gangster.
Yeah.
And like, it's just so funny.
And the funniest part about the guy that hit me up was he's like, well, if I want to get into running, what do I do?
Oh, that's wild.
And I'm like, well, here's like where a good place to start. And
Yeah.
nothing ever took off, but like
Yeah.
the thought, even he was probably high when he sent
But
it.
you
You know what I
know
mean?
what,
But like,
bro?
it's the
That's the
connection.
power of this. Like, bro, who knows? Maybe you inspired this guy and he turns his fucking life around.
6 years from
Like,
now.
you never know.
You never know.
Yeah,
Plant
that's-
those seeds, dude.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, planting seeds.
That's why I share my story, because I know a lot of people were not nearly as bad off as us. Sure, there were some that were worse off, but like regardless, I know people worse off than I am that made it, and I know people less off. Regardless of how bad off you are, whatever you're going through is equally as catastrophic to that individual that it was to me. Like,
100%.
And if I can get through it, so can they. And that's why I try and share it as much as possible.
What's really cool about the whole thing, I think, is the people that you meet that have these dark pasts, right? That have found a way out, have these incredible lives.
Yeah.
Especially in comparison.
Oh man.
Right? It's so far apart, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like, there are plenty of mornings I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck?
I have, dude, all the time. I'm driving home sometimes from work. I'm like, why did my life turn out like this? How?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah.
When I first, I did the 12-step program when I got sober. And it was the greatest thing ever. It taught me how to live life. Like, it taught me, it gave me tools for life. Yeah, it got me sober, but that was quick. Like, I lost the obsession to use quickly, working the steps. But it taught me how to deal with life, and it taught me how to, deal with issues. And while I don't do the 12 steps anymore, I don't work a 12-step program anymore. I did for like 6 years. I know that if I ever get into a point, I can always go back. But again, my whole point of this story was when I first came in, actually probably 19, 20 years old, some of the guys in there would be like, look, if you were to try and imagine your life a decade from now, there'd be no way for you to like conceptualize or like dream as big as you want. You won't be able to dream as big as it could be.
Yeah.
And I look back and I'm like I'm getting fucking goosebumps. I'm like, I could have never, ever, ever even dreamed, imagined, like believed that this was even possible for me, like to have the life that I live now.
Yeah.
And it was inconceivable. It was unbelievable, but here we are. And it's the power. And like you said, it's like the difference, like from where I was. Maybe if I had never done that, I probably wouldn't be where I am now.
100%.
I think the lessons that I learned then, it taught me work ethic. It taught me patience. It taught me like, I just ran this race 2 weekends ago, and it was the BPN Ultra. Hardest thing I've ever done in my life, except for getting sober. Because with that Ultra, I was hurting so bad, and I couldn't think about anything. I had like tunnel vision sometimes at night. All I could see was right in front of me, like the ground in front of me. I was like, my eyes were squinted. I was so tired, but I could still say, Mitch, just take one more step. And then I could take a step. And then Mitch, just take one more step. And I could take a step every time. No matter what, I could still take a step. When I was trying to get sober, I would throw my shit away. I'd say, I'm not fucking going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to do it. And I fucking do it.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
I could not stop. I would literally throw my shit away and I'd go digging through the trash can, or I'd throw it out the window and I'd go fucking find it.
Yeah.
Or I lost it and I threw it down the toilet and I had to go buy more. But no matter what, no matter how much I said, Mitch, no more. Don't even reach for it. And I couldn't not do it.
Yeah.
And that happened over and over and over and over. So that Ultra was very hard, but getting sober was much harder.
I tell people, man, I have some really similar experiences.
Yeah, I think most people like us have a lot of commonalities. I don't think it's all that different. Like whether it shows up differently, I think the core of it is exactly the same.
Yeah, so I'll have 5 years in July.
Fuck yeah, dude, that's huge.
And same to your point, like, fuck 10 years in my head. Like, I'm like, 5 years ago? What the fuck?
Like, bro, that's how I was at 5 years. I said, there's no way.
What?
How did I even get here?
What am I doing with, like, I put up on my story this morning, I was like, I never want to be the guy that's known for what he did yesterday, much less 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
And I started to think about that, though, after I said it, because I was all fired up when I said it, like, go be better today, like betterment and these things. But I'm sitting there thinking about it, and I'm like, dude, fucking 5 years ago. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I was sitting in a basement apartment in Atlanta ordering Coke from like an Uber Eats guy, essentially. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was during COVID. He was going to like drop it off. Like I didn't have to work for it.
Right.
In the darkness, like blinds drawn, just me and my coffee table and my dog, who I still have, thank God.
I've been there many times.
And it's like, I'm driving into Austin today. I'm going to go work out at fucking Collective.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then I'm going to leave there and I'm going to come sit down with you and have this conversation. And then I'm going to leave here and go do some of the construction stuff. And then I'm going to go to Lift ATX.
Yeah.
Might go to a run club. Who the fuck knows? Like, what?
Yeah.
Dude, it's nuts.
It's nuts.
It blows my mind.
Yeah, it does.
But again, you said it earlier. I don't think any of this would be possible without the history of where I was at.
I agree. Yeah.
So I get the question a lot, like, would you change anything?
Mm-hmm.
And I just have one answer. Like, it's a split answer. The only thing that I would change is the people that I hurt.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I would want to not hurt those people.
Yeah, that's a big one.
But all the self-harm, hurt, damage I did to myself, I wouldn't change.
Yeah.
Because I think it created what exists today.
I agree.
And I think learning through the program, especially, like, the only thing that I can do today is try to live forward and honor the people that I did hurt.
Yeah.
Right. By doing right today.
Correct. And not necessarily right to them, just doing right.
Doing right in general.
I'm living amends, man. I'm all like, my family, man, my mom, I mean, like I put her through the ringer, obviously. Anyone would in our situation. But man, enough to where, like, I'm leaving at 3 a.m. to go meet a drug dealer or whatever it is. Or it was a time I actually had drugs, and she was like, you're not leaving. And she took the drugs from me, and I just freaking grabbed them out of her hand, and I just walked out the door and slammed it. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm hurting myself.
Yeah.
Is what I was saying. But to your point, yeah, man, like, if I could take away that would be great. But on the flip side, like, everyone that I hurt is okay today. And I'm much better for it. So maybe, like, that small sacrifice in their life, they were hopefully willing to make it so that I could be successful. Because I do think everyone that I hurt had a part in finally getting sober, because that's what it was. It wasn't going to jail. It wasn't facing felonies. It wasn't going to rehab. It was literally the people that I hurt. It was I couldn't stand seeing the people that I love tell me I can't come home anymore, and my friends don't want to be around me anymore. And it took a lot of that. It took a lot. Like, it wasn't just the first time mom said, hey, you're basically dead to me. Like, I can't watch you kill yourself. Like, it wasn't that time. It was time after time after time. But I do think that's what it, in the end, was like the turning point, was how badly I felt about hurting other people.
Yeah, I think my mom is the one who opened the door to my bottom.
Yeah.
Right. I still had to get there, but
yeah, my mom too.
She opened the door.
Yeah.
It was a conversation in March of 2020, and I'd went on a like 3-4 day run, and I'd called her at the end of it because I didn't use Xanax, so like my 3-4 day run every
Brutal.
week.
Yeah, that's rough.
It was just like, fuck, dude.
Yeah,
like,
that's a rough night.
So every single week was like that, and I would call her. She wouldn't hear from me for 3 or 4 days, and I would call. She knew.
Yeah.
And I would, talk about, like, I don't know what to do. My life's a mess. It's a disaster. What do I do? This is the damage I did over the last 4 days. Because for me, it was this level of carelessness.
Right. Yeah.
Like, if I had access to it, I used it.
Yeah.
And so I remember having that conversation with her, and she was essentially like, she's like, look, I'll always love you, but I can't do anything for you.
Yeah. That's where I got to as well.
And I remember being pissed, you know what I mean? Like, in that moment, like, fuck, like, that's some bullshit. Like, you're my mom, But that opened the door. And she kind of distanced herself. And in reflection now and talking to her, like, you don't realize in the moment, like, you're upset because you're in your own head, how hard that actually is for a parent.
Oh, man.
Because they're literally saying, like, fuck, he might die.
Yeah. And I can't help him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let it happen because I'm saying you can't be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta be hard.
Yeah. So nothing but love for her for that. But you're right. I probably hurt her the most.
For sure.
But now it's so crazy. Like, the last couple weeks, I've been really locked in with the construction business, the podcast, fitness, like just everything, travel. And I haven't got a chance to really catch up with her. And we usually talk every day. And so I called her on the way in yesterday, and it was the coolest shit ever. Cause she's like, no, I knew you were good. Like, I wasn't worried about you.
Oh, that's so huge, right?
And like that, hearing that nowadays is like,
so big.
You're doing it. Like, just keep fucking going.
Part of my living amends is I answer no matter what when she calls. I don't get off the I love talking to my mom, but obviously there are times that I don't want to talk. I'm busy, but like, man, I owe it to her. When she calls, I answer no matter what, because there were times that she would call and I wouldn't answer, and she's like, he's dead. He's probably dead. And so I never want her. But man, like what you just said, like, she calls and she's like, I'm not worried. I don't worry anymore.
No, you're good. They know.
They know. That's huge.
Know. And it's this, I think my mom knew, like, pretty early on. She might have known before I knew that I was done. When I was finished, I didn't tell her.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like,
because you were worried that you wouldn't. Yeah.
I don't know how many times I fucking told her I stopped.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know what I mean? I was like,
yeah.
And then she'd be like, so I was like, no, like this isn't about that right now.
Right.
We're just gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember seeing her probably, man, it would have been like 3 months into that, like about around 90-day mark. Mm-hmm. And she's like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I called her.
That's when you really start to see the difference around 90 days.
I'd called her, bro, and I was like, I'm quitting my job. I'm moving to Austin. I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And she came, like, I think at first she was like, oh, shit. Like, she came down to Atlanta, though. I was in Atlanta working. Uh-huh. And we had a conversation. And, dude, I remember we packed a moving truck that night and drove to Austin.
Nice.
And then she left. She was like, cool.
Yeah, not even worried.
We're good.
Yeah, that's great.
And I've only had one urge in the last 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Like, true urge. Uh-huh. So I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like,
good.
Once it was lifted, and I think, again, I'm like you. If anybody comes to me and they're like, how do I start? 12-step. Like,
yeah, for sure.
12-step. Mm-hmm. I can't, there's no better, in my opinion, no better thing or place.
I tried every way.
Same.
And I also tried the 12 steps half-ass, and it didn't work.
100%. I think that's good for people to hear.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than just going.
No, yeah, it is. You can't just show up. You got to do the work.
You got to work that shit.
My most recent time in rehab, I didn't want to be there. I was in a sober living house prior. I relapsed at the sober living house. They kicked me out. And I had planned it like long before. Like I knew I was going to relapse. I planned drinking. Mm-hmm. There was a boat party for work, and I knew I was going to go drink. I wasn't going to use, though. I said, no way. But I drank all day on a boat. As soon as we got off the boat, I went straight to my drug dealer who I hadn't talked to in 2 years or a year and a half. And I called him. He's like, yeah, come on by. And I went over there, picked up a big like 8-ball, maybe a quarter, I don't know, and left. And by 2-3 a.m. I was calling him back for Xanax, and I was fucking off to the races again. It took one day.
Yeah.
Usually it did take one day. I mean, there were times it took longer, like 2 weeks, but it was usually the same day as soon as I started drinking. But I went into, my mom, I ran out of money. It would have been like 2 weeks. I'd spent like $5,000 on drugs and a room at Motel 6. I guess, I don't know. I was like, hey, I need help. Like, I'm out of money. That's when I called for help, when I ran out of money. She's like, I will take you to rehab again. I was like, I'd rather you just like come get me. But I went to rehab again, but I stopped. This is wild. Actually, never mind. I had drugs with me. I snuck them into rehab. I used them while I was there. The first night, I was laying down on my little bed in the detox room. There were 4 other beds in there, but I had a book sitting on my chest, and I had it propped up against my knees, and I tied my wrist off, and I shot up, and I did my little spoon on my chest right here while there's like 4 other people in the room. And I tied off my wrist, I shot up in my hand, and I passed out. And the nurse came in and found all of that shit, the spoon, the needle, the fucking dope bag, just sitting on my chest right here as I'm laying in bed. She's like, what is going on? And so my point is, like, I didn't want to get sober. Yeah. I wanted more money, and I wanted to stop withdrawing. But I was like, I'm going to, use what I have left while I'm here, and then I'll go ahead and go through detox and stuff. But they tried to kick me out. They really wanted to kick me out. And I begged them. I was like, please don't, because I got nowhere else to go. Like, this is going to be it if I don't, make this work. They let me stay. They put me in this program. I was 26 years old. They put me in the program with the younger guys, like 18 to 25. Like, I was the oldest. But they're like, this guy's a degenerate. He's going with the young guys. I learned so much in that. I mean, I knew everything. I'd been to rehab 6 times. This was my 6th time. I knew everything there was to know. But it was different. And my point of all this, I was talking about half-assing the steps. I said, I will work the steps to the very best of my ability, just so when it doesn't work, I can say that I tried.
100%.
And I did it, and it worked, and I'm still sober today. But my point, I didn't want to get sober. Yeah. And I hear this all the time. Like, I hear the bottom. Like, you have your bottom, and when you're actually truly ready. But I've also heard the 12 steps and getting sober. It's not for people who want it. It's not for people who need it. It's strictly for people who do it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't want your way into it. You can't need your way into it. You just have to fucking do it. And I did it, and it worked.
It's actually wild that you say that, because the night that I made the decision, and I really, people laugh at this, but I really feel like there's a change of heart in these moments where you're like, it's a real fucking decision.
Absolutely. And I had many of those. But They just didn't take.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, fuck yeah, I wish it would have happened the first time.
Dude, the craziest thing though about it is like everything I did was to prove that shit didn't work.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
That I couldn't be the one to get my shit together.
Correct. But it wasn't my fault. It was because what you're telling me to do ain't fucking working.
Whether it was 12-step, whether it was losing 100 pounds, getting in shape, all of it. I literally, in my head, was like, yeah, I'll just prove that this shit doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you pick your head up. I remember, like, the first time I really picked my head up was probably 14 months in. And I was, because I'd made the decision, the night I got sober, I was 312. So I was a heavy dope head. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't use Monday or Tuesday through Thursday.
Yeah.
So I would just eat.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I, like, coped. And, like, eat a lot.
Yeah.
And so I got really big.
That's a whole nother issue that I could get into, but yeah.
Yeah, I got food problems still.
I do too. I just run a lot, so I stay skinny. But like, bro, I have a horrible relationship with food.
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same addictive.
Same.
Yeah, it is for sure.
I can binge the shit.
I do
so
too,
bad.
man. I do it often.
But yeah, I made that decision, and I was like, you know what? Like, none of this shit's gonna work. 14 months later, I'm at the start line of a full Ironman.
Yeah,
Like, never done anything else.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna do a full Ironman. I'll prove them this shit's impossible. You can't lock in that hard.
Yeah.
I'm 107 pounds lighter. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm sober. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Shit, maybe it worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It started to click.
Yeah.
But I do want to get into some of the fitness stuff because
let's do it.
it's actually, I think that this is the reason I've been so excited to have you on.
Okay.
I think of like around 5 people when someone says like who to look to if you're struggling and see how you can flip it. You're one of those 5.
Great. Thank you.
And I think that that's like rare air. That's like, I put you in the same conversation with like David Goggins.
Well,
like, yeah, like has a different approach, different mentality.
For sure, yeah.
But the one thing you can't take away from that guy is how many people he's helped.
For sure.
And so,
including me.
Yeah, when I think about service, right, it might not look great for everyone, but if it fucking works, it works.
Totally, it does.
And so, but I put you in that air. And I think, Nick Bear's also one of those for me.
Yeah, me too.
When I got sober, I couldn't afford cable, none of that bullshit, but like could pull off some YouTube.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a big freeze in Austin. I'd moved here in like October, November. Big freeze happened in February 2021.
Yeah.
And lost power and all this shit. A buddy invited me over, and he was watching YouTube. And Nick Bear was training for an Ironman at the time with Natasha. And I was like, I was in that stage of like, this shit, they love everybody. Everyone fucking cares. Like,
I know it. I know
just
exactly.
Being an ass.
Yeah, I was.
And I DM'd Natasha, and she answered. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I told her the story. She's like, we'll do it. I'll do it. And so that's what kicked that off. But if it wasn't for that video, who knows?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then people make fun of me, and now I can like finally admit it wholeheartedly. I look at my like fitness pursuits, call it subconsciously, intentional, whatever you want to, however you want to look at it. But like first was the Ironman. Nick Bear's the one who clicked me into that. After the Ironman, I'm like, dude, I want to do something harder. Nick Bear's running Leadville, then Rocky, you know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck, I'll do a 100-miler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That'll show him. You know what I mean? So I tapped into that. That one took me a long time to accomplish.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's a different game.
But you fucking did it, right? Like what?
2 and 8 weeks.
Yeah,
stupid.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah, just stupid. And then now it's like, I want to get strong again. So it's like, but I look at you guys all in that same air of like, you're just leading the way, and it's because you're showing up and doing the work every day. Like, people always have something negative to say about everybody.
For sure.
Right? But there's a group of men that I look to that no matter what, I wake up in the morning, if I don't want to do shit, I know they're working. I know it.
Yeah.
Like it's intuitive, it's there. I know you're doing something. I don't know what, but you're doing something. Nick Bear?
Yeah.
He's definitely doing something.
He's doing something.
David Goggins, he might be running laps on a plane.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you don't know.
Yeah, you no idea.
But like you guys, I think, I just wanted to give you your flowers, man, because I'm sure you hear it, but I want you to know, like, I've heard from many, many, many people, like, man, Mitch Ammons, like, if that guy can do what he's doing now, like, I can probably have an okay life.
Well, that's really nice to say.
It's incredible though.
Yeah.
When you think about your depths, and then, you know, what in your fitness career, whatever you want to talk about, the list is like pretty fucking long for being real about it. But like Olympic trials, right? What's your marathon PR?
2:16:01.
That doesn't even seem like a real number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's insane.
Bro, honestly, to me as well.
Yeah.
I've done it 3 times, and every time I line up to the line, I'm like, how am I going to do this again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here it is.
And then it happens somehow.
And then you just keep doing it. And then next thing you know, you're running, what was the mile 10 or 14, 17 days ago, whatever that was? Did you run the mile?
4:18.
Okay. So yeah. 4:18. And then, you know, 7 to 10 days after that, you go bust 100.
7 days later, I did 100 miles, 125, 126.
And I don't want to misquote here, but was mile 100 a 5:35? Is that real?
It was a 5:50.
Okay.
Yeah, 5:50.
Tell me another human. One. I'm telling you. Find one that's ever.
Well, there's some. There are a few.
Okay.
But I'm up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to do 100, just a 100-miler, because I think I can go pretty fast.
I think you could win Rocky.
I'm going to try.
I'm just telling you.
Rocky or Brazos Bend.
Those were my 2.
Yes, those are the ones, man. Those are the ones.
If you want to know the faster one.
Rocky?
No.
Oh.
Brazos.
Oh, well, great.
Brazos is 100% the faster course.
Well, then that's the one it'll be.
It's the faster course.
I got it on my radar.
Yeah. It's, I think there's 2 hills. There might be like 20 foot of elevation.
Great. The hills, I looked forward to the hills because I could walk.
Yeah.
I walked up the hills.
Yeah.
Ultra runners walk up hills. I love that.
The only thing that slows Rocky down is the roots.
Oh,
There's none of that at Brazos. It's like running Lady Bird, dude.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. You'll fly.
Yeah.
You'll fly. So I think that it's just nuts, man, when I think about the places we're able to tap into, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
do you think what makes you ambitious in fitness is what kept you addicted?
100%.
Yeah, me too.
People will ask me all the time if I replaced my addiction. And
Absolutely.
For sure.
Will Max, his name is Will Max on Instagram, Max Joffrey. But anyway, he's been a big inspiration to me lately. But he told me the other day, he's like, and I don't want to mess this quote up, sorry, Max, but he said, what makes me good at ultras is what kept me addicted for so long. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, when I was out there and I was the most miserable I had ever been in running, and I couldn't stop. I loved it. I was like, I want to get back so I can just drink some water and then go again and just try to do it. There's something about like just trying to go to failure to see where that line is. Mm-hmm. In my head prior and like even right now, I'm like, why nobody likes that? Like, I don't even like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But it was, I swear it was addicting. It was the same thing that said, I got to take one more hit, do one more shot, whatever it was, is the same thing. Like, I got to go do one more lap. I just got to go do one more lap.
You go till the bag's gone and the bottle's empty.
Man, it was.
And that's what that's what the ultra is.
That is what it is. Yeah.
You go till it's empty.
I don't know. I loved it. I don't really like running marathons. Mm-hmm. I like competing and I like doing well. That's sort of my motivation. And I love running with friends because at the end of the day, it's a social thing for me. It's community. Mm-hmm. Everything good, and I believe for anybody, like to make anyone well again, community. Mm-hmm. It's what people need. We need community, whatever it is. But yeah, I lost my train of thought again.
No, you're good. But we're tapping into like that ultra headspace. Like someone had asked me, like what was keeping me going. Mm-hmm. And I think that it was a million things, but at the end of it, I'd be lying to everyone if I told them that there's not a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
And people be like, oh, you can work through that. And the 12-step fix that. I'm like, no, not for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's still there. It's not as front and center, mm-hmm. right? I'm not like in your face with it, like needing to prove like that. Yeah. But in those dark moments, like it's fully there. Like when they talk about in an ultra, all your ego's gone. Mm-hmm. Ultras don't care how fast you are, how strong you are, how smart you are.
It is not a test of fitness. Not at all. No.
It cares about your grit and your will.
For sure.
And maybe your faith, right? But those 3 things are like what would come up for me. Mm-hmm. In my rawest, most exposed self, mm-hmm. that chip is there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, no, there's still somebody out there that thinks you're not going to fucking make it.
For sure.
You're going to relapse.
And I kind of love it.
I need it.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love the people that support me, and I love them so deeply. And it is like probably a huge reason for my success because like, what's it called? Like not positive affirmation, but like, when you do something good, you get a reward, right?
Yeah.
The support is the reward. Like it feels really good, but I also love the haters.
Me too.
Like I love it, man. Like it doesn't affect me at all. Like the let's run threads or whatever it is. Like this guy's a phony. He's lying. Like I don't care. I fucking love it because they're so upset that they're like wasting time out of their day to talk shit about me or make fun of me. And I'm like, what's wrong with you, bro? Like I'm over here. I don't even think about you.
Dude, I'll share. I've never shared this on here.
Oh yeah, let's go.
So you're right. There's two pools that you pull from. There's two reasons why I did the second 100 within 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
My body was not there. It was nowhere close to being ready.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember in the training leading up to the first one, you got to remember I'd failed Rocky twice, back-to-back years.
Yeah.
And I went through another year training block. Like it's all I did. But I remember in that training block leading into the third one, I was like, all right, I'm going to do Brazos first. And if something happens, I'll do Rocky.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be smart, right? That was my thought process.
Yeah.
But there was these kids back home, and I would say that was the support.
Okay.
Right? They were telling me like, hey, man, like we're not going to quit because you don't quit. Like shit like that, which is superpower.
Uh-huh.
But there were moments in that race. There's a pretty well-known influencer in Austin who was at a dinner with people that I'm also associated with. And he'd said, like, that guy, what the fuck is he doing? Like, he thinks he's going to do 200 milers. Like, yeah, okay, he's like 220.
Yeah.
This is just idiotic at this point.
Yeah, that's
like
horrible.
He's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That got back.
Yeah.
And I was like.
That would set a fire for me, too.
Okay. I didn't say shit. You know what I mean? I was like, no, that's all mine.
Yeah.
And then I waded into the moments of that race, like really mile 80. When I was coming in at 80.
You thought about it?
Yeah, Griffin was crewing me.
Yeah, Griff, he's so great.
And he's like, he'll tell you now, but like my leg was fucked. I had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we'll fix it right up, dude. It's no problem at all. Dude, just let me rub on it for a second. He rubbed on it for like 30 minutes, dude. And like, it just kept getting bigger.
Oh, no.
And he's like, you're fine, dude. And he's like, just drink those bottles I put in there really fast. And what he'd done is he'd taken Tailwind and Red Bull and mixed it.
Oh, nice.
And it was like a cocktail.
Yeah, jet fuel.
Yeah. So I was like, I feel great.
Yeah.
For like 3 miles. It was enough to get me out of camp.
That's sometimes all it takes.
It's all it takes. And then I'm like, well, fuck, I got to go back
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, might as well keep going. But I remember I went and looked in the mirror at Rocky, like their campground. There's a couple, like, you've been there, right?
No, I've never.
Okay. It's like any other campground. It's on the lake, like the shore, and then there's these bathroom setups. I went in this bathroom, and at mile 80, like, you know, you're
not well
torched.
That was the worst. That was my worst.
Yeah.
70 to like 85.
It gets
was
deep,
my
dude.
absolute worst. 70 to probably 90.
It gets deep.
Yeah, it was.
And I remember going in the bathroom, dude, and I thought about those kids. And I thought about, you know, you talk about dying for your purpose, you know, because I feel like my dad passed away from a drug overdose 2023.
That's heavy.
So that became my purpose too, to talk about it, to normalize this shit so it doesn't keep happening. I thought about that. The last thing I thought about, though, when I looked in that mirror was that motherfucker at that dinner.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's watching.
Yeah, he's watching.
He's definitely watching.
Yeah.
And I fucking came out of that bathroom. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's die.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Like, let's go. And that loop was better than my fourth loop.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because I was just I was like.
It shows the mental part of it.
And my mom, we had this conversation yesterday. It sounds like we have similar closeness to our moms.
Sure.
And my mom doesn't curse a lot. Like, she'll drop one every here now and then.
Yeah.
But yesterday we're having a conversation, and really my life has shifted a lot over the last, we'll call it 8 weeks, 12 weeks. But me and my mom have this thing, and she'll be like, or I'll say, like, you remember that last motherfucker that bet against us? And either me or her, she'll be like, no. And I'll be like, yeah, me either.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are.
And we had that conversation yesterday, and she's like, I knew you were in that state. So I just let you live in it. She's like, she's like, I can sit back and watch. She's like, that's how you know you're being impactful in life. Like you don't have to call me and tell me about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to hear about it. I'm going to see it.
That's cool. Yeah.
And it's like, that's where the work's really at. And so I feel like without the people hating though and talking shit, I wouldn't be who I am today.
No, I don't think I would either.
No.
Even coming back to getting sober, like I did do it for me, but like, did I?
Yeah.
I did it to prove people wrong.
Yeah.
Because they said I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
As much as I didn't really want to, I still wanted to prove people wrong. And then in running, in the marathon, I had haters for a long time. Very motivating to prove them wrong. And then in the ultra, even starting last year in the 50 miler, I had people tell me, and influencers and people with like that may know some things that say, you're a marathoner, you can't run an ultra. I said, okay, watch.
What people discount, it really and again, I don't think it has a lot. I mean, there's definitely fitness involved.
There's fitness involved, but it's not a test of fitness.
What they discount is they've never had the access to the willpower that we needed to find more dope.
Yeah, that's a great point. There's nothing more. I've never been stronger willed than in that situation.
I will figure it the fuck out.
That's a great point.
And so when you've had access to that level of willpower, what you tell me, my body hurts, I got to stop.
That's a great point.
No fucking way.
You think, yeah, I'll tell you what, at mile 85 at my worst, it was still nowhere close to a fucking heroin and Xanax detox.
No. That's
and I'm fucking walking 5 miles to the fucking dope house, so sick.
Yeah.
But I'm going, and ain't nothing gonna stop me. Yeah, that's a great point. I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah, I always try to think about that, and I remember
that's the most strong-willed that I have ever been in my whole life.
For sure.
Searching for dope.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're gonna find it.
Yeah, I never didn't find it.
I remember one night in Nashville. My mom hates when I tell this, but like, I was in Nashville and I was trying to find coke. Couldn't find it. And I'm like, I'm to the point where I'm on Broadway, like talking to homeless people. I'm like, I don't even care if it's like shit. Like,
oh yeah.
Just whatever. Just convince me that bacon soda is fucking primo.
Yeah.
And this dude looks at me and he's like, bro, I don't have any coke. He's like, but I got some hard.
Yeah.
I got some rock.
Oh no.
And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And he like pulled me back in this alley, dude, and we smoked crack together.
I love it.
And like, but that's willpower.
Yeah.
Right? I will do anything to feel that.
Bro, I have the exact same story. I don't have any coke, but I got some crack. I'm like, I'll smoke some crack with you, bro.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
And you know, but it's so interesting once you can take that and apply it to anything else.
For sure.
Like what takes off.
Dude, I've never framed it that way. Like that is a great point. And I can harness that willpower.
Yeah.
For something else. I probably do, just not even knowing it.
Yeah, but now you can actually like attach to it.
Yeah.
Be like, here, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Right.
No, this isn't that bad because.
Right.
That's helped me a lot, man.
Dude, I mean, and I sometimes wonder if I'm just saying it, but then I look at the real big picture and it's true. But like, no matter where I am in life now, whether it's I've completely bonked in a marathon, I'm running at 80 of 126 or whatever it is, nothing is going to be as miserable as I was when I was dope sick, or even not dope sick, high as a kite, but just like the shame around it. Like there's nothing worse than like self-hate. Like I think that is the absolute worst thing someone can feel.
The shame, for sure.
Yeah.
And here's the cool thing about fitness, I think, and especially the ultra space. The worst places I've ever been mentally have been coming down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And most of the time when you're coming down, at least for me, I was alone.
Yeah, me too.
When you're in those deep spots in an ultra, you're fucking surrounded by people that love you.
Yeah. Oh, that was a huge part of it.
Which is massive.
Everybody in there was encouraging and it was so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Today's episode is brought to you by our official sponsor, Sun Life Organics. Love, heal, and inspire. Sun Life Organics is a juice bar that has locations all across the United States, providing only the highest quality organic ingredients. I love it. Personally, I go just about every day. My favorite smoothie is the Holy Cow. It's packed with 50 grams of protein, and it always helps me recover. Go find one near you. Another official sponsor of today's podcast is Noble Origins. Noble is a grass-fed beef protein complex, utilizing everything in the cow from nose to tail. It's personally my favorite protein. I like the vanilla the best. I like to mix it with raw milk. That is my favorite combination, but the chocolate is also amazing. I also had mentioned with additional sponsor, Sun Life Organics, that they have a shake smoothie called the Holy Cow. They also utilize Noble Protein in order to hit that 50 grams in that shake. So again, go order it. Check them out, nobleorigins.com. Use code ADY for 15% off. Love y'all. I was watching, selfishly, like, obviously I can't gamble anymore because like I think that's very closely tied to like some other shit for me.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bet on the last man standing. I'm glad I did, not a fucking loss. But I was like, they're not gonna touch him, dude. I'm like watching him, but I was like, he either, this is just me, this is my own speculation. I believe that you knew you had more. You could have kept making the circle, the time. I was like, he just found a number and he's good with it. I was trying to figure out what that was.
I hate to make excuses. Like, I quit because I was just over it.
Yeah.
But I was just fucking over it.
Yeah.
The next day, like, I was fine. I was doing good, but man, when it got down to 5 people, it was kind of boring out there.
Yeah.
Like, it was really, really fun with everyone out there.
Right.
But someone would drop, and I said, okay, I got to do another lap because they just dropped. So I got to, do one. And then another person would drop. Okay, I got to do one more. And I got down to 3 of us, and I saw Truett, and I mean, I have so much respect for Truett, and I was like, dude's hurting. Like, I can see it. And I was like, I got to stick around for one more. So Truett dropped, and I do one more, and I mean, obviously I was done, but I had been done 2, 3 times before that night, like, and I kept going over it in my head. I'm like, there had been several times where, like, I can't take another step, but I was eating soup, Campbell's chicken and rice soup out of the can. It would fucking snap me back to life like nothing else. I was like, I could have something to eat, probably start walking, and in about 20 minutes I'd be back. I'd come back. But I thought more and more, and I'm like, I've been out there with Kim and Kendall this whole time. They're going to go through today. They're going to go through tonight. They're going to go through tomorrow. I already know it. They're so mentally prepared, and obviously physically prepared. And I was like, I'm not willing to do that.
Yeah. And
so whether I was actually just like beat down and quit, or I just had enough, I mean, regardless, I did quit and I DNF'd. Could I have kept going? I don't want to talk on that because I didn't. And I do regret it, but next year.
Yeah.
I had work on Monday. It was Sunday afternoon. I had fucking work on Monday.
It's hilarious you said that.
Yeah.
So when I was talking to, literally, that last man standing blew the fuck up.
Yeah, it blew up.
There were people everywhere that I haven't talked to in years. Like, dude, are you watching this?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah. But even my mom, she was like, oh, but you know the Mitch guy, right? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't think mentally anyone's prepared to go where he can go.
Yeah, I kind of.
And I told my mom though, when you did drop, I was like, he's probably got to show houses and shit on Monday.
No, I had showing scheduled. I have literally buyers like on the edge, and I think we got a contract that Monday or Tuesday. Yeah. Man, but I was done. Like, this is a good point. Whether it was physically, I couldn't take another step, or mentally, I was just fucking done because I had enough. Either way, it's a huge mental feat. Like, ultras are mental. And I was like, I can't fucking do this. It's so goddamn boring. And so I quit.
Well, I think
but
it's such an interesting thing to say, though, that you quit.
Yeah.
And here's why. Like, though, especially last man standing. I don't even know. I don't even like that word, really.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm just done.
Yeah.
Right? Like, now, if you sign up for a marathon and you pull at 19.
That's a DNF. I've never DNF'd a race. I've jogged it in because I've been broken, but I'll never step off the course.
So I've done that twice. And those are my 2 greatest regrets of my life.
Yeah.
You can't get them back.
No, you can't.
Doesn't matter how, 200 miles in 8 weeks doesn't mean shit compared to those 2 DNFs at Rocky.
Well,
I mean, but
that's your thing, but
right.
Yeah, I get it.
But
I get it as well.
Me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, and I remember that now in any event, anything I do, I'm like, I don't care what you have to feel right now.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel that tomorrow.
No, right. Yeah.
Because that's like, dude, it's the same. I don't know if you've had this experience. I've had a couple lows in sobriety. Anybody who tells you that there's no fucking lows, I'm not buying that shit. I've had some low lows. And 2 of them were after those races. And I remember, like, crew came back with me, dropped me off at the house. You good, man? You good? I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. Next, like, 3 days, dude.
Yeah.
Just like, fuck.
Why'd I do that?
Ate me up, dude.
Yeah.
Like ate me up from top to bottom. And I remember after the second DNF at Rocky, the next day, I couldn't fucking walk, and I put on shoes and like went in my backyard. I have like just an acre, and I was like, "Fucking, you gotta do something."
Yeah.
And I'm out there just like, you know, hurt.
Yeah, hurt.
But mentally, I'm like, dude, you failed, because it was, for me, it was one of those where now knowing what I know I had more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's
like
where I'm at.
I quit.
And
it's like, fuck, that's hard fucking pill to swallow, but it's also beautiful, because if you can harness that, you'll go further.
Next time.
You're fucking going to go further.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So,
yeah, I quit. I did. And it's not like I couldn't take another step. I just quit.
Yeah.
A couple people before the race told me, don't quit in the chair.
Yeah.
And I fucking quit in the chair. I said I won't. I will be the one like stumbling in and not make the time, because no one will out tough me. And I'm sure of that. Still, I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
But I just had a few things going in my head, and it was like, I could get third place now, or I could get third place in 7 hours. Like, why risk that 7 hours to injure me and take me out for the next things coming up? I had Chicago on the calendar. I still want to qualify for the trials for 2028. After this race, I'm kind of like, all I want to do is run another ultra.
Yeah.
I don't even care about the trials. I don't care about a marathon.
Yeah.
I just want to do another ultra.
Yeah, I think I think selfishly a lot of people want to see that. Well, you do another ultra.
Oh, okay, good. I thought you were going to say the trials, because I'm like, ugh.
No, I mean, selfishly.
Yeah.
Look, I have tremendous amount of respect for what you've done in the marathon.
Yeah.
Like, tremendous. But selfishly,
yeah,
I want to see you do your thing in the ultra space, because it's very rare. I think there's a lot of guys that are tough.
Yeah.
Different sizes, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I say guys, the toughest fucking people I've ever seen in an ultra are women.
Yeah.
Like, I won't even go into detail, but like, just tough.
Yeah, we had some strong women at the BPN race.
And that puts you in check real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, that she is a savage.
Yeah,
She's a real life savage. But it's rare that you see the speed, the endurance, and the like mental capacity kind of all come together.
Mm-hmm.
And you have that, dude.
Yeah.
So like, Zach Bitter is a good example of like speed and endurance.
Yeah, he's a great example.
Right. Like,
yeah.
the dude's put down some crazy shit in ultras.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see what Mitch Ammons can do. You know what I mean?
want to see as well, and I think that's going to be the route that I take. There's another thing about it, and I try and go back. I was going back and forth on which one's harder. And the thing with the marathon is that you can prepare, you can precisely prepare, and that's the hard part. The training is very hard. Like, you've got to be on it, and you've got to show up, and day after day after day, mile after mile after mile. It's miles in the morning, miles in the evening. But if you do all that, guarantee you'll run a great marathon. Mm-hmm. Like, the race isn't hard. You are pedal to the metal till you cross the finish line. Like, there's no, I mean, obviously you blow up and you bonk, but I would say that that's strictly because of training. You didn't train correctly. If you train right, and not that everyone knows like I even don't get training right sometimes. Like my coach and I still have bad races, but if you train right, you're going to run a great marathon. You can train as much as you want, and there's no guarantee you're going to run a good 100 miler.
No.
I don't think there's any way to physically prepare fitness wise to run 100 miles. It's not about that. It's grit and it's toughness and it's how badly can you hurt. So I think the marathon training is very, very hard, and it's probably something most can't do to run at the level that I've run. But I think that the 100 miler is fucking harder, and it's the race that it's so
race,
hard.
Not
the race
training.
is so hard,
and you still have to do
you still got to train for it. No, absolutely, but that doesn't guarantee it at all.
It doesn't fix the race.
No,
and I completely agree with that sentiment. So like, the first year I trained for a 100 miler, I had it programmed. I didn't miss a run. Right. Like, I hit my training, got out there, fuck. Year 2, same thing. This past, like, between year 2 and 3, I hired Matt Johnson. And I was like, look, this is why I'm doing it. Like, I needed someone that I could
Yeah.
be all the way real with.
He's perfect.
And I'd seen enough of him and been around enough of him to be like, he'll get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll click.
For sure.
And he's like, we got this. Here's what we're going to do. And I'm like listening to him tell me about what I'm going to be doing. I'm like, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, no, this is what you're going to do.
Uh-huh.
And I remember in August leading up to the first race, which was in December, August, the hottest month in Austin, I ran 406 miles at 230 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Like getting it.
That's wild.
And like, I remember I've seen you. I used to run, I parked here. And
Yeah,
I
I saw you forever. Yeah.
Just over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
And so like, was I able to pull from that in the race? Sure. But there's a point in those 100 milers where like you are going to experience some sort of physiological failure.
For sure.
It's going to
you
happen.
can't train around that. No, it's impossible. Yeah.
It's an ankle, it's a toe.
Something.
It's fucking it's a rib. Like,
Calf.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, my ribs.
Yeah.
My fucking intercostal muscles between my ribs were so tight. My ribs were hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's insane.
Yeah, it was insane.
So it's like when you think about all of those components, it definitely changes the game. The other people that ask me about running, I'm like, I don't consider myself an experienced runner.
Yeah.
Right? I'm decent at suffering.
Mm-hmm.
But I asked him, like, it really depends on if you want to run something or you want to race something.
Right.
Like, running a marathon, to me,
mm-hmm.
is easier than racing a 5K.
Yeah, for
right?
sure. Absolutely.
Just to put out.
1,000%.
And, but I've never raced a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if I raced a marathon, that would be tougher for me than racing a 10K. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On some level, but it's really like effort based. But there's been days like an all out mile. I need to talk to you about this, by the way.
Yeah.
So I obviously have followed along long enough to see you. I saw you pace Nick.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
For the sub 5.
Yeah.
Do you know what he weighed when he hit that?
No, it's probably a lot, though.
So I have this goal. It's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing nothing but like track work.
Yeah.
And explosive movements. I want to go sub 5 at 240.
I don't know if that's been done.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But like, if I get there,
mm-hmm.
I'd love for you to pace me.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
If I get there.
Any day of the week, you let me know.
I'm going to press on it because, again, what drives that is I brought it up one time. Someone was like, yeah, fucking right.
Oh, I think you can do it.
I was like, oof, you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, no.
Shouldn't have fucking said that. Because I know I can run a 115, 400.
Yeah.
I did that a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And so that's just 3 more of those, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Right? But if you can do one.
I gotta say I feel the same way about you.
So it's like, all right, that's the next target for me in the running space.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do any more. I'm taking a break from all like the 25 milers.
Yeah, this will make you better in all of them, though.
Yeah.
Training every little stimulus separately, like at different points in time, is going to make you overall way better.
Yeah. And I just want to be more, bro, I don't know how to, like, this isn't a knock on ultra. I think there's so many incredible things. I've never felt less athletic.
Yeah.
Training for that.
Sure.
Right. It's just like.
Even running it.
Yeah. Just like, here we are.
9:30.
It's like.
The starting line was the most underwhelming start I've ever seen. The gun goes off. Boom. 12-minute pace.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Or like Rocky. So I'll tell you this. If you do Brazos, make sure you're in the very fucking front.
Oh, I will.
Because you will lose literally like half an hour.
Behind people.
Trying to get out.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'll be in the front.
Yeah. So like.
I'm going to find the guy who looks like he knows what he's doing and wants to win, and I'm going to sit right there next to him.
Yeah. Just stay in his hip pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Until it's time.
Until it's time.
Yeah.
That's how I always do it.
No, I love that. But yeah, I never felt less athletic. And so when I finished the one in February, I was like instant shift in my brain. I'm like, all right, we're going to try to get strong again. We're going to get our mobility back.
Yeah.
And then we're going to push on the speed side.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I was never the fastest guy when I played college ball.
Mm-hmm.
I was good in a box.
Yeah.
Like I could move side to side, front and back well.
Agility.
Yeah. But I was like, can I hold? So we used to do these things called 300s in college as our conditioning tests. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But it was 60-second 300s. And we did 10 straight with 60 seconds off.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's brutal.
230, 240 pounds.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Right? And so like, but if I could do that, and I'm in better shape now than I was then, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I could clip like 459.
I think you can do it for sure.
Yeah. But it just took that one guy.
And it's just going to take some work, but I think you can do it for sure.
Good.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my head.
Good. Can you imagine? It's just like.
I also believe that if you're locked in, that you won't stop until you do it.
Yeah.
I know you can do it.
Well, I can't. It doesn't leave me now.
Yeah,
That's
great.
the issue.
Yeah.
Like as soon as that conversation happened.
That is an issue trip.
Yeah. A couple times a day, I'm like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun getting there regardless. Like it'll be, the journey will be fun. Track is fun.
I actually reached out to Jeff.
Yeah.
And sent him a DM, and I was like, hey, when you get some time, I need to talk to you.
He's tough to get a hold of like that.
Yeah.
If you want a connection, let me put you in a message with him.
Yeah. Because I literally want to pay someone to say, Trip, if you want to hit this in 6 months, this is what I need from you.
Yeah.
And I want to say, okay, I'll see you in 6 months.
Great.
That's what I'm seeking.
Yeah.
And it's someone who knows that game.
Like if you can get here at this point, then you can get here at this point, then you'll run the 5-minute mile. Yeah.
Because there's no question whether or not I'm gonna work. Like we're good there.
No question.
We're good there,
bro. You'll do it.
Yeah, but I want to do it at 240.
Yeah, well
and just be like,
that's impressive.
What else isn't possible?
Yeah,
right.
I love it, dude.
You know what I mean? But it's people like you that drive that.
Well, I'm all about stuff like that too.
Yeah,
I get motivated by the same things. I don't stop. When I set a goal, I don't stop till I get it. And I've had a trend of that for a long, long time, and I don't think I've ever not gotten it.
I can't let go of shit.
Yeah, me neither. I obsess.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
And there's certain things in my life that I've held on to far too long.
Yeah.
Right? That I shouldn't have.
Uh-huh.
But when I think about fitness, I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't let go of shit.
Yeah.
Because that resiliency to get to that point. Like, and I've gotten to that point numerous times on numerous things, and I expected this like massive moment of elation, like, and honestly, like a couple of different times, like across the finish line of 100 mile, I'm like, fuck, that's it.
Yeah. That's how it was qualifying for the trials for me.
Really?
I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's cool, but like, not the 100 miler.
Yeah.
Or getting to 100 miles, crossing that line at 100 was one of the proudest moments I've ever been.
That's incredible.
Way more than any marathon.
It filled you up.
It did, yeah. It was so hard.
Yeah.
It was so fucking hard.
Well, it's also hard because that event's crazy alone.
Mm-hmm.
But you also didn't just run it though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you were fucking moving.
Yeah, I mean,
not for you maybe, but still.
Yeah.
You know, if you're clipping sub 7,
just getting to the distance was fucking wild. Like I just never thought I would. I mean, obviously going into it, I was like, I'm going 100 at minimum.
Yeah.
But like getting there, there were so many times during that race, I was like, I can't do this. I'm not going to make it. And then I made it.
Were you counting miles? Were you trying to like stay away from it? Like I got 26 more till I hit 100.
No. I just tried to stay away from it.
Yeah, that's the best approach.
Yeah.
It's run this one.
Look, I have had this mentality in workouts, in marathons, in the Olympic trial, whenever I'm running. And I want to quit, and I want to quit now. And I tell myself, look, finish this mile. If you still feel this bad, then quit.
Yeah.
And it's never still felt that bad.
Yeah.
So this ultra was a little different. It wasn't this mile, it was this lap.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish this lap. If I still feel this way, I'll quit. And I just never did.
Yeah, I think, that's why the crew piece is so important for ultras.
Yeah, the crew was huge.
Like we talked about Griffin, but like there was no way he was going to let me even, like I could come back in the worst mental shape possible.
Yeah.
And in 4 minutes, for some reason, I'm like, dude, life is crazy good, man. Like, and I'm fucking broke.
Yeah.
And he's just like laughing and shit. And he's like, just cracking jokes. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So like the people around you in those events is like everything.
Everything. No, I that is something that doesn't get enough credit. It's not even like the actual physical help. It's it's having their personalities there. Mm-hmm. Like having my wife there was a huge like refresh of energy. Having Jeff and my friend Xander, who was just so incredible. Both of them were so good. This gal Jordan, we had the most, Lucy and I shared a crew. We thought, and from here on out, I will never not share a crew with another runner. I don't want to be sitting in the chair and just have my crew around me. Like I want people around me. That filled me up. And I was like, I can go again. And when I was out there, I was like, I really want to get back quickly so I can go hang out in the crew area because it was so much fun.
Yeah.
No, they don't get enough credit, but it's so huge. I could have never done it without those specific people.
Yeah, and it's for me, I've found the best thing is like that balance of like, you talked a little bit about Jeff being this outstanding coach first and foremost, but also like outstanding cheerleader.
For me, he's my cheerleader. Like, he obviously coaches me. He's coached me for 7 years. At this point, I could probably coach myself.
Yeah.
Like I could. It's not. There's no. In my opinion, there's no special sauce. There's no secret code. It's do some tempos, do some interval work, do some miles, and do a long run, and you'll run great.
Yeah.
It is a little more refined than that, but like not really.
Right.
But he's there. He shows up. He's there supporting. He's a cheerleader. He's making me feel so good. That's what I need from a coach, and he does that perfectly.
I like the positivity in my crew.
Yeah, everyone was positive.
But I found a super there's another level, I think, too. You need someone who understands your darkness there.
Sure.
Right. You can look in the eye and like you can say like, hey, like, because a lot of people, it's hard to be real and everyone's so supportive.
No, you're right. I'm thinking of an exact specific moment, but yeah, keep going.
Or someone's like, how you doing, man? You look great. You look fucking fantastic. Like, it's hard to look back at them and be like, I'm so fucked up right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, thanks, I'm good. We're good.
Yeah.
We got this. What I found was like a superpower is like to have that, but have like that one guy or one girl.
My wife was there, and I remember it would just be her and I.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I don't think I can fucking do this.
Mm-hmm.
I would never say that to Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never, not one time in my whole life.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jordan, I don't fucking know. And she's like, well, you're doing great. If you quit now, it's just fine. If you keep going, it's just fine. Like, you're great no matter what.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's that simple, isn't
Yeah.
it? And I was like, okay, I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need that person. I'd like to ask you about that though. So something in my sobriety that's become like more and more important as time has went on is becoming a husband.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big dream of mine.
Yeah.
It's like, for many reasons.
Uh-huh.
But from afar, I don't know the dynamics of your relationship, anything like that.
Yeah.
I just see like, social media and, that sort of thing. But what do you think, like, how did that come about? How did that relationship come about for you? Do you remember like
I remember everything.
the space you were in?
For sure. I'll just start this with Jordy changed everything for me. Like, I was already on the way, but she really changed everything. And she didn't have any like intention of changing anything. But when I met her for the first time in my whole life, I had purpose. I had real purpose. Like, I had someone else that I really, really cared about and wanted to help and support. She, again, I don't know how, but like my confidence, like, I don't know if it was like I finally found someone who will love me enough to marry me, and that gave me confidence, or if it's just her being there gives me confidence, or knowing that like we're a team, and no matter what I can't do, she can do. Like, we are a team. We do everything as a team, no matter what, it gets done. I don't know what exactly, I can't pinpoint it, but the confidence, and that changed. Dude, confidence is everything. And so you asked about how it started. I mean, I just met her. She was the bike lead at the Austin Marathon one year, and I was running. She was getting a video of Slim, one of my best friends. But I messaged her afterwards, and I was like, hey, what's up with that video? It was a great video. It was like she had a side profile of the lead pack. And we started talking from there. And I was the type that like and I'm sorry for anyone that I dated after this, but that's listening, but I would date people and I would really, really like them, but I didn't love them. Like, there were things that I'm like, I cannot be with you forever. There's no fucking way. And I tried to convince in my head that I was just crazy and that's just how it is, and I'm not settling. That's just how how life is going to be, until I met Jordy. And I was like, this is what it really is. This is the fairy tale that I hear about when people get married. And it was so mind blowing, because that wasn't me. Like, I thought I'd be single forever. She thought she'd be single, not single, but like never get married. I was never on that level of commitment. And when I met her and we dated for a while, that was all I could think about, was wanting to commit like that. And we dated actually, like, we went on a date once a month for like the first 6 months. Like, she played really hard to get. And, but I wasn't going to give up, because I thought she was really cool. And then we dated, and I knew I was going to marry her. I called my mom and I was like, hey, I'm going to buy a ring and ask Jordy to marry me. And she cried, obviously. And she said, well, you know, I have this little ring that your dad got me when we got married. It's not a little ring. It's beautiful. But she gave that to me, and she's like, I don't know if you're going to like it. It's like skinny. It's like a marquee cut. It's like long and skinny. It's fucking so cool. But I got it, and I was like, this is fucking perfect. Like, I could never afford this. I had a measurement on my pinky finger of her ring finger. I knew exactly. I put it on. I was like, it's fucking perfect. I don't even have to have it fits her perfectly. And so when I proposed to her, she had absolutely no clue. She had no idea that I was going to propose. We had talked about marriage in 10 years. I always joked about it. Yeah, we'll get married in, maybe 10 years or so. Like, knowing what I was going to do, knowing at the end of this year I was going to propose. And I proposed. She had no idea. She obviously said yes. Best decision I ever made. And man, I think it was a turning, like, everything took off. Like, my running got so much better. My job, my career, it couldn't be any more different. Like, it fucking took off. And I don't know if it's the confidence or if it's that she got me out into the community. I wanted to be known as this like mysterious runner. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I wanted to show up to practice, do the work, and go home. And getting to know Jordy, and just probably her just leading by example, she talks to everybody. If there's a new person that doesn't have anyone, that she goes and talks to them. And now, no matter what, if I'm at a run group, even if it's a new run group to me, but I see someone that doesn't look like they know anybody, I go fucking talk to them because someone did it to me. And that changed everything for my career, for my involvement in the community, for the fucking support that I get from this community. It, like, I tear up, like I cry in the messages in my DMs because people are so fucking nice. In my head, I don't deserve it because I'm just a guy just, doing what I can to survive. But the fact that it has that big of an impact on them is just, it makes me grateful that I'm here and I'm able to help people. But yeah, Jordy fucking changed everything, man. It's so wild.
Yeah, it's you got me a little bit thinking about the you don't realize sometimes, and I don't want to say I take it for granted, but sometimes, like, if you actually take time to slow down and reflect and read what people send you,
yeah,
you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, holy shit.
I had a very similar moment last year. I went and talked at a school, and these kids sent me handwritten letters.
I saw that you did that. That was cool.
And fucking, like, they're still on my kitchen table.
Yeah, I would never let them go.
And, like, people are like, I'm like, nope, they stay right there. Because in the morning, like, you go by and you're like, no, like, you got to fucking keep doing what you're doing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And but, like, it's again, the one of the deepest struggles with it is believing that I'm actually capable,
for sure. That's the struggle
of making that difference
every time.
And it doesn't, and I say that from a place of so much love. Like, I'm so grateful for every message, every letter. I mean, like, God, like, it's changed my life.
It's changed my life too.
But I still struggle to believe that I'm that guy.
I agree. I imposter syndrome every day.
Yeah.
It's just such a great reminder that I'm on the right track. And I'm happy. I'm happy every single day. And I walk out to go to work, and I'm like, I have a fucking job that I never dreamed I would have. I thought I was a paycheck to paycheck guy, and I was fine with it. My whole life, I was like, I'm so fucking happy. I go to Barton Springs every day. If I want to take a trip, I'll work 10 days in a row, doubles, and I'll stack up cash, and I'll go blow it all in 2 weeks on a vacation. Like, I was happy with that. But that all changed, and it just, people are inspired by what I do at my job. And I mean, I work really hard. I'll outwork anybody. And it is just such a nice reminder and just affirmation that, like, that we're going in the right direction. Because I need that, because I went in the wrong direction so many times.
Yeah, and real quick before we hop out, I wanted to ask you about the professional side of things.
Okay.
The real estate side.
Yeah. Do
you think that that's a great transition for, like, people that come out of addiction? Like, it's a good spot to land? 'Cause there's a million jobs, right? And everyone's like, what should I do? Where should I? And, like, I think it really depends.
I think it depends.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, real estate is a people person job. It is you're talking to strangers. You have a very short window to not impress them, but to build rapport, to like show them that you're a trustworthy person and you're going to take care of them. It's a very short window. And the way that you do that is you make them comfortable. Like, and so to answer your question, it's a fucking incredible job and I love it, but you gotta love people and you gotta love helping people because that's all it is. It is not, real estate itself is fucking easy. Like a monkey could do it. Writing up a contract, like you write up 3 contracts, you can write up a contract. There's obviously like, you get hit with curveballs all the time. We're basically putting out fires all the time. But like the main part of it is just being a people person. Like you've got to enjoy talking to people. If you like that, it's a fucking great job.
Yeah, I dated a realtor for a while and she was definitely a people person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was like, could get along with anyone, any place. And so she was successful at her job.
Yeah.
Because of kind of what you're talking about.
Right.
The reason I asked the question about the transition thing is because like, I don't know if I could have transitioned into that in the same way, especially not right out. Like,
well, I was going to say you're way further behind me.
Yeah.
I keep in mind, I've been doing this. I've been sober now for 10 years. Yeah. At 5 years, no fucking chance. I was scared of people.
Yeah. Because I'm still in the shell thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I was at 5 years. I was very much so.
I tell people that and they're like, you think you're, like, I always joke because I forget the fucking word, but like, there's outgoing people and then there's
extrovert, introvert.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just brain farted on that. People are like, you think you're introverted? I was like, no, I am.
I am too.
I have to be very conscious and intentionally put myself out.
I do too. And Jordy has a huge part in that for me.
And I think I need that. That's what you bringing that up.
Yeah.
It's kind of ring a bell for me because, bro, I will. I'm that guy. Like, I went to a run club last night. I typically avoid run clubs. Like, just, I mean, you've seen me run. How many times is there somebody with me? It's usually just me.
Right.
But I went last night to this run club and like, dude, the energy was great. Like everything was awesome. Everything was awesome.
It is.
And even after I finished, like I talked to some guys during the run, that was great. But when it was like done, they had like, they were giving giveaways and all this stuff. And I just remember sitting there like, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? That's what was going through my head.
Yeah.
And people are coming up like, hey, how are you? Like, my name's so, like introducing themselves. And I'm like, all right, I need to get out of my own head. You know what I mean? But I'll do that. Or I live in New Braunfels. I drive here every day.
Yeah.
So like, that's already my way of isolating.
Yeah.
Notorious for it, dude. Because like, it's safe.
Yeah.
And it's familiar.
For sure.
But familiar. Like, as I've started to, that's why the podcast was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that is. That is it.
Fuck, like, I gotta like go meet people and like, have conversations and do, and like, this is easy. What's not easy is the outreach.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly my point. Yeah.
This is, I can sit here and talk to you all day about doing dope and running and struggling and stuff.
Sure.
Like, no problem.
Yeah.
But to reach out to someone cold and be like, hey, like, that's my name's Trip, like that, I'm like, fuck, this looks stupid, doesn't it? And I'm like rereading the shit.
Yeah.
And I plug it into ChatGPT and I'm like, well, that's definitely not me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm still figuring it out. And I share that vulnerably because you just said that you're still figuring it out at 10 years. I'm still figuring it out at 5.
Yeah.
So if you're 22 days in, give yourself a fucking break.
Big time break.
Give yourself a break.
That's a huge point right there, man. Like, the first 2 years, I was fucking terrified of everybody and everything. If I was sitting in a restaurant and someone took my order, I was like looking down and like they're above my head. Like I didn't look people in the eye. I was just fucking terrified. But yeah, 5 years was nothing. Like, it was such a short time. 10 years is I'm still really working on it. I will say, practice made perfect. I put myself out there. I just showed up and I didn't care if I looked stupid, which I thought I did all the time. Like, who's this clown walking up to me and saying, hi, what's your name? Like, how fucking dumb is that? Yeah. But I do it, and I do it every day. And now I'm fucking comfortable doing it. I'll talk to literally any stranger anywhere. I do want to, like, back one thing up. I think Austin is very unique. I think Austin, Texas is so unique that you can walk up to a stranger and talk to them, and they're so receptive. Yeah. I think I left in 2021 for a year and bouncing around. I spent time, like 6 weeks, up to 4 months was the most I stayed, but New York City, Colorado, I was in Boulder and Vail, both months at a time, Park City, Utah, Flagstaff, Arizona, San Diego, and everywhere I went, I missed Austin. I missed the people, and I can't help but believe that we have the greatest, and it is the fitness community. It's the people that are involved in fitness. There's probably other really great communities. I just don't know about them. But I think our fitness community is the best there is. And lately, I go to a lot of run groups because I now enjoy meeting people. And when I meet people that have moved here recently, I drill them with questions. I'm like, okay, well, so why'd you move here? Oh, a job. Okay, well, did they give you like options? Did you have a job in Idaho, in Austin, in California, and you picked Austin? Most of them, yeah, I picked Austin. I was like, and I asked, what was your idea of Austin before you moved here? And they're like, oh, I knew it was a fit city. It was young and blah, blah, blah. And I always ask, did it exceed your expectations? They're like, by so much.
Yeah.
Like I could have never even dreamed this. And I ask so many, and it's always the same answer. It's every single time it's the same answer. I think it's, in my opinion, it's the greatest city ever. Like I love the people here. I love our community. I think my success, number one, is this fucking community. Like the support, and then I've had a trend of seeing people that I like, and it started in drug addiction. Seeing people that I thought I want to be like them, and I just insert myself into their crowd. And it started with the drug addicts and the drug dealers. It started with the bad kids in elementary school. Then it started with the drug users and the drug dealers. Then I got sober. It was the ones that like, these guys are like the sober Nazis or the sober whatever. Like they're the fucking guys. And I insert myself in their community. Then it slowly turned into fitness. And I saw David Fuentes and Will Nation. I said, those are the fucking guys. I'm going to insert myself into their group. And I did. And I rose above to them. I rose to their level. Same thing goes in my career. I started at a company that I liked. It was really good. I got a lot of training. I learned so much. And then I got to know the community, and I said, there's these two guys. I fucking know who they are, Tim and Mike. They're the coolest thing I've ever seen. I'm going to insert myself into their community. And I did, and I learned from them, and I ask fucking questions. Everywhere I go, I ask questions. How the fuck did you do this? How can I do this? How did you do this? And it just keeps going. And so I truly believe that you are an average of your top 4 friends. I do. And so I seek go-getters, and I insert myself, and I try and be of service. Obviously I'm not there for a handout. I want to bring something to the table every time I come. And I feel like I do bring something to the table. But if I think this is just coming back to community is everything. If there's something in someone that you are inspired by or like or want, do what they do. Insert yourself. Ask them for help. I have never experienced someone who's an expert at something, an expert like maybe the expert at sobriety, or maybe the expert, David Fuentes is an expert at running. Tim Landy, an expert in real estate. I have never had somebody who is an expert at something and I ask them questions about it that they're not thrilled to share what they did.
Because they love it.
They love it, and they want to help. They love that you're interested in something that they love. Down to like my investments, we have investment properties now. I learned all of that from asking a ton of fucking questions to people who have 20 properties. Like, how do I get to where you're at? And they fucking tell me, and I do it, and it works.
Yeah.
Same with sobriety, same with running, same with fitness, same with my career. Community, man. Fucking Austin, Texas. It's the sole greatest thing. Jordy's number 2. Sole greatest thing that's ever happened.
It's unbeatable on so many levels, and I think you really hit home with a lot there for me too. Like, I kind of have tried to do the same thing.
Bro,
right?
It's the way to go.
Target, okay, let me insert. Right? But like sometimes, dude, all I can bring to the table is grit.
Well, that's a lot. You know,
it's not my brain.
Let me tell you this, bro.
Yeah.
That is you can't fucking teach that.
Yeah.
You know how valuable that is to someone? Like, you can't teach grit and hard work.
Right.
You can't.
Like, I can work.
It's just a part of you.
I can work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you can teach everything else.
Right.
Everything else you can teach. Maybe a mentor prefers that because you're like you're a blank slate.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's.
But yeah, I think the hard thing for me that I've learned in this process is like, not everyone wants to go to that new target with you.
No, they don't. I've left a lot of people behind.
You know what I'm getting at? Like
1,000%.
And you're like, fuck. And dude, that can really suck.
Yeah.
But
it does suck.
It's like, all right, it also comes with this awareness of like, what's gotten me here, right? And can I really risk anything else than that next target?
Right.
Right. Am I willing
No.
to, and it comes down to that. And
Brother,
it's fucking hard.
and they told me this in the very beginning, and I hated it, but you got to be selfish. Like, this is getting sober is a selfish thing. You can be selfish and still help everybody around you, but man, you got to do it for you. And if it means leaving some people behind, it's got to be what's best for you.
Yeah.
And I have unfortunately had to do that many times. And
I'll tell people this too on that note. Doing the right thing sometimes, especially in that wheelhouse of what we're talking about, it doesn't oftentimes come with like an instant, immediate, like super boost of happiness.
No.
It's fucking hard.
Yeah.
You know, and then, but
the right thing is usually hard.
You just keep clicking.
Yeah.
And then a little by little, you're like, okay, maybe I that might have been the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, and then maybe, yep. And it's like,
you make a great, I get a lot of DMs and texts and questions about running, obviously, like how do I get better? I've started to get DMs and calls and questions about real estate. Like, I have newer real estate agents calling me for help, and I fucking love it. But what I tell them, obviously I go way more in depth in this, but I start with the only way to fail in this real estate or running is to quit. That's the only way you're going to fail. There's no way to fail as long as you just keep taking the little tiny steps. If the most you can do is take a little step in the right direction, that's all it takes. Every single day, just wake up. And if the most you can do is one step in the right direction, then fuck yeah, you went in the right direction. That's what this last 10 years has been, is an accumulation of little steps in the right direction. And every day, I may not want to fucking go big today, but like, I'm going to take a small step in the right direction. I'm going to do one thing that is going to improve my fitness and improve my career and improve my relationship with my wife. And I'm going to do that every single day, bare minimum, no matter what.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, there's no option but success.
Well, I completely agree. And that's why I tell people, like, as you upgrade your realm, you got to upgrade your standards.
1,000%.
Like, you want this life that you see, or you talk about these targets, and you want that. Don't think that you're going to have that with the standards you had over here in this,
for sure,
in this target.
Absolutely.
The standards go up.
Yeah.
You know, and that doesn't always mean like running more, right? In fitness, right? It could mean hiring a coach, right? Getting someone to help you.
Yeah.
Right. But like, you look at any of these things that we've been through or going through and that we wish to achieve, we have to have our baseline, which sounds like your three core things are strong.
Yeah.
Right. Your fitness, your business, and your wife.
For sure.
Right. And I'm not saying that's the order. I know that's not.
Yeah. I mean, it changes.
But like,
as far as like prioritizing what is most needs to be prioritized that day. But yeah.
But waking up and knowing that's happening.
Yeah.
Is huge. And I tell people all the time, like, have your non-negotiables.
Yeah. Those are my non-negotiables.
Like, whatever it is, like, okay, you don't clean your car today. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Did you love your partner? Did you look out for your partner?
Yeah.
Did you take care of your body?
Yeah.
Did you take care of your mind?
Yeah.
Did you take care of your business, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you just do that, the car will fucking clean itself, right? Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just keep doing those things. And I think a lot of people get so lost in this world of perfection.
Yeah.
Of like having to do it all right.
Yeah.
It's like, no, do your core right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then as you elevate, make sure your core stays intact.
Right.
And then it's like everything around that, just that's tight to it, you just have to evolve it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's how I try to think of it. But for me, I try not to ever close my mind off to like doing something new.
Never.
Because it's like,
I don't do that anymore. I used to. I was very close-minded. I didn't want to go anywhere outside of my comfort zone in my bubble.
Yeah. And
that's it. And now I opened up to it, and it's great.
This I'll share this with you before we cut out. It's pretty cool. And hopefully maybe it'll hit somebody in the audience.
Yeah.
I was at the gym the other day, and they have like I guess you call it like an IV bar kind of thing. They offer those services.
Uh-huh.
And the nurse that works there, I was having a conversation with her, and Faith came up. We're talking a little bit about that, working through that, and she threw this concept at me that I love. And when it hit me so hard, because like that shit has happened so many times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, if you have 3 random people tell you the same thing, you need to look into that.
Yeah, big time.
And I was like, fuck. Like, you know how many times that's happened? Like, why did that guy bring that shit up?
Yeah,
like,
one person can be a fluke. 2 is a coincidence.
Yeah.
3, brother, you gotta change something.
It's a sign.
Yeah.
And when she said that, I was like,
I've heard
shit.
that too. Yeah,
it's good.
I truly believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that can be on the negative side or the positive side.
Absolutely can. Yeah.
Right. If 3 people are like, hey, dude, you need to stop being a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should look into not being a dick.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Or if it's like 3 people tell you like, hey, I think you could run a sub 5-minute mile at 2:40.
Yeah.
Or they tell you can't.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm with you, man. I agree with that. You can run you can run a sub 5 mile.
I think the psychotic part in me like knows.
Yeah.
Like I believe it.
If you know, then you can do it.
I believe it.
Because I have that too.
I just believe it.
Yeah.
And it's that tied with watch this.
Yeah.
Like what?
Bro, if you can believe it, it can fucking happen.
And you can only say that, right? Because
it's
you look
happened.
I know. It's like I try to tell people like, yeah, it doesn't make sense right now.
Yeah.
I got a buddy back home in Virginia, dude, that's fucking struggling.
Yeah.
Like deep.
Mm-hmm.
And I see a lot of me in him.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what he's capable of.
Mm-hmm.
Like we grew up the same, we played sports together. I know he can go to some places.
Yeah.
And get some things done.
Yeah.
But he's struggling right now, and he's like, yeah, but I look at what you're doing like that. There's no fucking way for me. And I was like, brother,
there is a way.
There's guaranteed a way.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you. Like I said the same thing.
Yeah.
And you probably said the same fucking thing, and everybody else says the same thing. And it's these micro steps,
right? And
keeping the core tight. And then one day you're like, what the fuck? And then people are telling you,
yeah,
right? Like there's no way I could. And you're like, yes. It's the belief.
It's just wild how compounding like just little moves in the right direction over a year is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it goes by very quickly, but like the amount of change in 6 months or a year is just unbelievable. It can happen. Just taking little steps in the right direction. Yeah.
I think that's a good way to people like, how'd you get so much success?
Yeah.
Little steps in the right direction.
I want to end this, or I just have one more thing. And it's just like it really hit me hard. 9 years ago, I worked at a restaurant, and a guy, and I'll go ahead and say his name because if he's listening, then I hope he calls me. But his name was Wolf, and we worked at Shady Grove together. It was an old restaurant on Barton Springs. It's still there, but it's overgrown. Like they closed it down and just have left it there. It's abandoned. Huge part of my sobriety was working there, and the managers were so supportive, and the coworkers. But anyway, I did relapse there, but I got sober there again. This guy Wolf was also a heroin addict like me. We had a lot in common, our backgrounds, and he'd been sober about a year, and so had I. And we were great friends, and we hung out, and we worked together, and everything was great. Everyone was, anyway. I saw him a couple weeks ago on Valentine's Day. I was picking up flowers, and he was kind of a bigger guy, and he was like, sickly skinny, and he was fucking pushing a shopping cart with all his shit in it down Congress, and I was like, we were fucking peers. Like we were the same. We were exactly the same. Had exactly the same background, exactly the same potential. And here he is, homeless, pushing a shopping cart, like sickly, like looking like Auschwitz, like sunken and just like looks like he's fucking dying. And here I am living my fucking best life. And it's just like, it's awful, and it made me cry, and I was so upset about it. But at the same time, the statistics are the statistics, right? Yeah. And there are people that are going to fail. Most die. Most die or end up in prison. Somebody has to go down so that I can succeed. Unfortunately, like that's just the statistics. It's just math, right? But that was a huge wake up call, and it was really, really heavy because that could have been fucking me. Like same sort of thing. Family, very supportive, well off, like all the same shit. And this wasn't like like he wasn't just pushing a happenstance, pushing a shopping cart to carry some. That was his fucking life, and it hit me so hard that could be me, but it's not.
Dude, I had the same thing when my dad overdosed, so he OD'd on coke.
That's brutal.
And I found out through the death certificate. They mailed it to my house.
Oh, that's horrible.
We have the same name.
Yeah,
it's like reading my own shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm like,
that was
me.
Yeah, could be you.
And
it would be you if you didn't change something.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
I believe if I was still using it, I'd be dead.
No, me too.
Everything's just,
Without a doubt.
shit's
I
way
was
too
very
cut up.
close.
Yeah. So, but I will say this, man. We talk about regrets and wishes and this and that. I wish, and I would do it in a heartbeat, like full transparency. If I'd take all the shame in the world, if God said, hey, you can take all your knowledge and belief and everything you know now and actually go back to day one and surround yourself with other day one people.
Mm-hmm.
And because I think it's so much different to hear it from another day one person than it is
For sure.
Somebody's 5 years.
1,000%.
You're like, yeah,
Bro, what are you fucking telling me, man? Like,
Yeah.
I can't do what you're doing.
Yeah.
You don't know how I feel right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so to be able to connect in that way,
That's a great point. Yeah.
like, yeah. And I've had some wild thoughts around that shit, dude.
But bro, you can still help the people.
100%.
And,
100%.
and again, we got to go back to the selfish part of it, man. You got to do it for you.
Right.
Because if you're not healthy, you can't help anybody else.
100%.
You can't be there for your future wife or your kids or your sponsees or your mentees or whatever.
Right.
If you're not taking care of yourself, you're worthless to them.
Yep.
And then you're just like we were before, like just taking up fucking space.
I won't make it long if I'm not selfish.
Right.
Like because the other side of addiction is like the service side.
Yeah.
You can give everything to that.
Right.
And then you wake up and you're like,
What do I have?
shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is a hard balance to strike. You could do a whole episode on
Yeah.
selflessness and selfishness and how to figure that fucking shit out. It's like,
For sure.
it's rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
But I think, again, what's been helpful for me is there's always been guys ahead of me that are doing what I want to do.
Right.
Like, jokingly, though, but like seriously, like Nick Bear, wife, kids.
For sure, man.
Mitch Ammons, wife, right?
I'll tell you, Nick
It's this
Bear,
trajectory.
he's obviously a very impressive athletically, but dude, it's the way he fucking runs I'm sure it's public record, but like they're fucking 40, 50 million a year business and his 2 kids and his lovely, like his wife.
Yeah.
And that is the most inspiring thing about Nick to me. How and make time for fitness.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's incredible at fitness, but like the way that he handles his business and his family, that is the ultimate like inspiration to me.
That's why I won't listen. I will, like, I've met him once in person.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone talks shit on him, though, I'll back him up all day.
Oh,
Like,
I do too.
I'm like, what are you saying right now?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you're going to knock on somebody, right? This is who you're knocking on.
Mm-hmm.
You're knocking on the guy that probably got up 4:30, 4:45,
Every day.
right? He went downstairs, made his like special coffee. I can promise you he took a dump.
Yeah.
Then he went on like 7 to 10 mile run,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Right? Came back, made breakfast pancakes and
Family
breakfast for
time.
his babies and his wife and family time. And then he runs his $50 million business and finds time to like build with his team, actually. Like, he's not tucked away in a fucking
Bro, that is he is so involved. He handpicks everybody at his company, his athletes. He's so involved.
Yeah.
He's so generous.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I
And then he lifts weights in the
and then
evening.
he lifts weights and then he
then it's
goes home and
family
has
time.
family time.
So it's like, what are you going to say?
No.
You like, not around me. Are you doing that? Fuck no.
No.
You know what I
no,
mean?
man,
I'm trying to do that and I don't have family, and it's still a grind.
Yeah.
So like, anybody that lives that
That's
way.
where I'm at. Exactly. I'm grinding all fucking day and I don't have kids.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole nother piece I'd have to work in there, and it's just unbelievable.
I have nothing but respect for the guy.
I do too. He's such a great dude.
Yeah. And you'll have to tell him for me sometime. Be
I
like,
will.
Be like, I met this dude who saw you. He did his Ironman, then he did his 100.
I will.
You
I'll
have to
tell
let
him.
him know. I got his tattoo.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah,
saw it.
But nah, man, today's been awesome. I'm actually glad that we didn't line up until now.
I am too. Yeah.
I think it worked out
I agree.
like perfectly.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
dude, I just appreciate your time.
Hey man, I gotta say, probably my favorite podcast.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It
It
means
was
the
really
world
good.
to me.
I love that we got into the dirty part of it and then obviously the success part of it.
Yeah.
But I think the dirty part's kind of interesting, and I think people are not sensitive, but like they don't hear this very often.
Right.
Like the shit we did,
Yeah.
most people don't hear about.
I mean, dude, I met someone yesterday. I was having a conversation after the run club,
Yeah.
and they're like, you ever been to jail? And I was like, oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Lots of times.
They're like, really? And I'm like, oh yeah,
I could have had a frequent flyer card.
yeah. Like, yeah, I was well known in that circuit. You know what I
I
mean?
can
Like,
tell you the jails in Texas that are really nice and the ones that are really shitty.
Yeah, me too. Same for Virginia and Ohio.
Yeah.
So like, but like you tell it people, and like you have to, like, I forget, like, because to me it sounds shitty, but like it's like a super normal part of my life.
My wife was telling me last night, just like how she was gonna. She told her mom that she wanted fake boobs.
Okay.
And I was like, well, that was hard. She's like, she's so judgy. And I'm like, what did your mom think when you told her you were dating a 6-time felon, ex-drug addict bum?
Yeah. Yeah.
You think your mom's judgy? She fucking loves me.
Yeah. You'll be all right.
Yeah, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah. I'll share this and then I'll shut up.
Great.
Because this is such a good point.
Yeah.
Guys have asked me a lot this question around dating and sobriety, recovery, that sort of thing. And there have been circumstances in my like relationship history where parents were rightfully so
Absolutely
concerned.
For sure.
Right?
Me too.
And I remember the first time it happened though, I was offended. I was like, how dare you?
Yeah, yeah.
But I took like 5 minutes away from that.
And you're like,
well,
obviously.
If that was my daughter.
Yeah.
And that's I don't know.
I'm with you, man.
And so understand, please, that part of your journey does come with you.
Yeah.
But know this, there hasn't been one set of parents that I've encountered that haven't fallen in love with me.
Right. Me too.
And so I'm saying that because I want people to know that, like,
right.
Yeah, it might be a little bit tricky at first, but if you're yourself, this person who's literally obsessed with betterment,
yes,
there isn't a parent on this earth that doesn't want that for their daughter.
Correct.
They want a man who's obsessed with betterment.
Yeah.
She's good.
Yeah.
He ain't got to worry about him.
No.
You know what I mean?
1000%.
And so I share that because, like, don't anticipate or expect it not to come up.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing you can do is be forthcoming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be real about it.
Right.
For me, that's what's worked best.
Yeah, it is. I'm with you 100% on that.
Yeah.
And if they still don't like me, then they never would have liked me anyway.
Ever.
Yeah.
And
they probably don't like anybody.
That's not a reflection of you.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? So, no, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Man.
Great.
Dude, thank you so much for your time.
You as well, man. This was great.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm excited to connect more, and I'm definitely going to have to get tapped in with Jeff, it sounds
Absolutely, man. I'll connect you, bro.
We got to go sub 5.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's going to wrap it for today's episode of the Ain't Dead Yet podcast. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank our sponsors again, Sun Life Organics, Noble Origins. You got anybody you want to plug, man? You can plug anybody you want.
I mean, BPN.
That's fine. Yeah.
Thank you, BPN, for sponsoring this podcast.
Yeah. Shout out BPN. Going more. Thank you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.